Good day, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'll be going in depth about how to create a GitHub repository and how to also save changes you've made to your code. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So first and foremost, you're going to download the Git app. To download this app, you're going to go onto Google and then you're going to type in GitHub download. Then you're going to download for whatever operating system you have, whether it be Windows, Mac OS or Linux. Just download for the operating system you're using. Once you've downloaded that, you're going to come back to the GitHub app and you're either going to log into an existing account that you've already created or you're going to create a new account. After that, you're going to get the screen. Once you open Git, you're going to come to this create a new repository on your local drive. Basically what this does is you're going to take a file, the week 1 and 2 or superhero app that you've already been making in the App Academy, and you're going to push it to GitHub so that it can be shared and collaborated with people in future, or even if you want to put it on your LinkedIn or portfolio, etc. So with that being said, you're going to click this and then you're going to name it anything. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to name it App Academy. Oh, no spaces, sorry. App Academy week 1 and 2. So you're not allowed to put an and symbol, so I just put a dash symbol. Then the description, you're gonna say, this is the work I have been doing in week 1 and 2. So this can literally be anything you want. This is just for the purposes of this video. You don't have to copy this exactly. Now what we're gonna do for this local path, the easiest way I've found is you're gonna go to the file where you've saved your work. So in this file, FNB App Academy, I've saved my superhero app and I've saved my week 1 and 2 app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the week 1 and 2 app where my images and all my other HTML files and CSS file are saved, and I'm going to get this over here. So we're gonna copy this. You can use Ctrl+C, and then we're gonna go back to the Git app, and then we're gonna use Ctrl+A to select everything here, then Ctrl+V to paste. Once you've done that, you should be directed directly to this file when the repository is created. So that after this, you can just initialize a readme file. Basically what a readme file is, it gives information about the app, what your app is supposed to do, how it's supposed to be used. So always include a readme file when you create apps. They're very important. And then everything else here, you can just ignore that, then click create repository. It's gonna take a couple of seconds depending on your internet connection, but yeah, it shouldn't take more than a few minutes to create. After you've done that, you have now created your new repository. Okay, after we have created our new repository, to actually make it show up on GitHub, we're gonna have to publish it. So you see this blue button here that says publish repository. We're gonna click it, and then all these details should just be the same, but just make sure you double check App Academy week 1-2 and then the description. And then here you can either make it private or public by unticking this. I would say make it public because in future you're going to want to share this on your portfolio, you're going to want to put it on your LinkedIn, and you're going to want people to potentially help you with it. So make it public by unchecking this box and then click publish repository. Again, it's going to take a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, shouldn't take too long. Just going to give it a second. Okay, cool. Now we are done and we can go onto GitHub on the browser. So you can just go to github.com and then log into your account. Once you've done that, your repository should have been successfully created. As you can see, the last repository here is the App Academy week 1 and 2. We have successfully created the repository. So to access your repositories, you can either access them on the left hand side or you can come here to the corner and then your repositories. It depends on you. It's the same either way. So as you can see here, there is nothing inside our repository. It's just a readme file and Git attributes. To actually put the folders onto the repository, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the file. Then you're going to notice something different here. what you're gonna notice is that GitHub has created a App Academy Week 1 and 2 repository folder. So I'm just gonna delete this. This is from a previous video that I made, but this is not supposed to be here. Also, the README file is not supposed to be here. You're just supposed to have the original files and folders that were originally in your document. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we're gonna move them into this folder. Once we've done that, you can see that all the README files, the Git attributes, all the HTML files, CSS files that you have in your app have now been moved into this folder. To actually make it save on Git though, what we're gonna do is GitHub, we're gonna go back to the Git app and we're gonna see that all the changes are indicated. Git is nice because it shows us all the HTML code or the CSS code, whatever language you're programming in. It shows us all the code for the language file. After we've done that, it's very important that we create a summary. A summary is required. You can't commit to main without giving it a summary. So you can just make it something short and simple. You can just say week 1 and 2 work. And then the description is optional. Honestly, most of the time I don't really fill in the description, but you can if you want to. Then you press commit 15 files to main. Then it's just gonna take you a couple of seconds. It really doesn't take that much time most of the time. Once you've done that, you're gonna see a new screen. This is where you actually push to the origin. So you're gonna read this if you want to, then just click this button, push origin. Once you've done that, just give it a bit of seconds just to upload to GitHub. Shouldn't take too long. Done. Now you've successfully pushed all your files to your GitHub repository. You're just gonna come back here, refresh, and there you go. Every single file is there. The about us, the boat, the index, everything is here. You can just double check. But that is how you push your files to GitHub. Now, in this next portion of the video, I'm going to show you how to edit your code on Git and then save the changes to GitHub so that you don't have to keep uploading new files every single time that you make changes to your files. Okay, so you're gonna go back to the folder where you have your repository, local repository, and like let's say for instance you want to make a change on index.html. You open it using Visual Studio Code. To do that, you can just click this, then just say open with Visual Studio Code or brackets, whatever code editor you're using. I already have it opened here. So like let's say for example I wanted to change something here. For instance, like let's say I wanted to say select a link and then just remove below over here. This is the change I make. Make sure you save on Visual Studio Code. You can either save by doing this, save all, or you can just use Ctrl+S to just make it fast. Once you've done that, the cool thing about Git, it's immediately gonna notice that you've made this change. You go back onto Git and then it's gonna show you that this person took away this word below and made it like this. So this red part is before you changed anything, then this green part is the change that you made. So once you've done that, you can either just type a description or summary to say that I've made a change, I've removed the word below, but most of the time it's not necessary. If it's a small change like this, you don't have to do all that. You can just commit to main. It's gonna take a couple of seconds again. Then we're gonna have to push to origin. So remember guys, every single time you make a change, you commit to main and you push to origin, then you're done. It's really as simple as that. Push to origin, give it a couple of seconds, fetching origin. Then we are done. We go back to the GitHub site and all we're gonna do is refresh this. Look for the file that we have made the change to, which is the index.html file. Now we have made that change. We can quickly check in the file just to make sure if that change has been made. Welcome, and as you can see, this select a link below is now taken away. You've now updated your code. So like let's say you and a couple of other developers are working on a app together, you can just change each other's code just like that. Like, let's say another developer didn't like this, he can just go edit that, then commit to main, then push to origin, then it's done. It's as simple as that, guys. So now let's say you wanted to share this file to someone, or you wanted to share it to LinkedIn or your portfolio. All you're gonna do is go back here, then you're gonna take this, and then you're gonna copy link address. Then you can literally paste it wherever you want, and then if a person accesses this link, it'll take them directly to the repository. That is how you create a GitHub repository, and that is how you create changes in your code, guys. Make sure that every single app that you're making, you're putting it on GitHub. GitHub is a very good resource for when you're starting to apply to jobs, or when you want to show people your work. It's very good for developers to be familiar with GitHub. You need to make sure that all your projects that you're doing, major projects, are here on GitHub, because it works as a resume sort of thing. So yeah, if you guys want to know how to make something like this, I will show you in future videos, but the purposes of this video was just to show you how to make a GitHub repository. It's really as simple as that. If you have any further questions, please feel free to shoot me a comment in the comment section. And yeah, guys, let me know what other content you want to see, FNB App Academy content or coding content. Just let me know. But for now, that's me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.